It was a serene Tuesday night, the sort where the world seems to hold its breath. I remember it clearly because Tuesdays usually slipped by unnoticed. Emma returned from work, tossed her purse onto the kitchen island, and said, "Can we talk?" For a moment, she settled stiffly on the couch's edge, her body rigid. I'd seen that posture before, during her mother's long illness. It signaled something weighty, unsettling. I turned off the TV and sat across from her. "What's up?" I asked. She took a deep breath, as if preparing for a speech rather than a conversation. "I've been thinking a lot," she began, "about who I am, my direction, my place in the world." I stayed quiet, letting her words unfold. "I feel confined, like I don't know myself beyond this. I need some space, Daniel. I need time to find myself again." I sat motionless, taking in her words. She continued, "I think we should take a break. Maybe just be friends for now. It's not about you, I swear. I just need room to grow." Her words were clear, practiced, polite. I could have asked if someone else was involved. I could have pushed back. But I didn't. I'd seen this moment before, not with Emma, but with others. When someone asks for space, they've already taken it. The decision was made long before the words were spoken. I gave a single nod. "All right." Emma blinked, surprised. "That's all? You're okay with this?" she asked. "I'm not okay," I said calmly, "but I won't beg." She looked down, twisting her fingers. "I'll stay at Lisa's for a few days. Give us both some breathing room. Take what you need," I said. "Just let me know when you're coming back." She gave a small, uneasy smile, then slipped into the bedroom to pack. When the door clicked shut behind her, the apartment sank into a silence it hadn't known in years, not heavy, just still. In that quiet, I stood, opened my laptop, and began mapping out a plan. I'm not one for rash reactions. I think deliberately, step by step. If Emma wanted distance, I'd give her a clear line, no vagueness. First, I addressed our shared accounts, all in my name. One by one, I changed passwords, removed her access, and canceled unnecessary subscriptions. Then, the car. About a year and a half ago, Emma's old hatchback died for good. I'd gotten a raise and bought a new crossover. She drove it more than I did work commutes, grocery runs, late-night yoga classes. I worked from home, so she'd nearly claimed it. But it was mine title, insurance, payments, all in my name. I sent her a direct text. "Hey, since we're on a break and sorting things as friends, I'll need the car back this week. Insurance doesn't cover non-residents as primary drivers. Let me know when I can pick up the keys." No response. The message was read but ignored. I didn't take it personally. People don't reply fast when their safety net shifts or when they expect you to stay their quiet backup. Then, the apartment. We'd moved in together 3 years ago, but the lease was mine alone. I covered the rent. Emma contributed to groceries and occasionally utilities, but my name was on the agreement. I didn't rush to change the locks, not yet. I'd give her a fair chance to gather her things like an adult. If she didn't, I'd handle it. This was about clarity. She wanted space. I was giving it no halfway measures, no free rides. Something told me she hadn't expected this response. It was Friday afternoon, around 4:45, when I was making tea. A loud, insistent knock shattered the calm, urgent and agitated. I checked the peephole. Emma, hair pulled back sloppily, face flushed like she'd sprinted here. She knocked again, more forcefully. I opened the door and leaned against the frame. "What's going on, Daniel?" she demanded, skipping pleasantries. I kept my tone even. "What's the issue?" "You locked me out of all our accounts and sent that text about the car," she said sharply. "Yeah," I replied. "You said we're friends now." "Friends don't share subscriptions or cars." Her face tightened. "I said I needed space, not for you to tear apart our whole life." "I didn't tear it apart, Emma," I said. "You chose to step back. I'm just following through." "I didn't say we were over," she retorted. "I just needed time." "You're blowing this out of proportion." "No," I said, voice steady. "I'm done funding your independence," she scoffed, throwing her hands up. "You're acting exactly like Ryan said you would." That name landed like a quick jab. Ryan, her so-called yoga friend, had been mentioned too often lately. Late-night classes, casual references. Once, I saw his name on her phone at a M. She dismissed it as nothing. I let it slide. Or maybe I chose to. Now, she'd slipped. Her expression shifted instantly. "That's not what I meant," she said quickly. "Ryan?" I asked, calm but sharp. She crossed her arms. He's just a friend. He's been there for me. There for what? I pressed. Helping. You leave while expecting me to keep the car and accounts open? You're twisting this. She snapped. No, I said, voice low. You wanted to explore something new while keeping me as a fallback. It became clear then. Ryan had been in her ear for weeks, framing me as the bad guy, overbearing, controlling. Emma wanted the excitement of a new connection, the pull of possibility, without giving up the security of stability. Her plan wasn't careless. It was calculated. She just hadn't expected me to respond like this. She huffed. This is absurd. I need the car tomorrow. It's not your car, I said. It's mine. Your name's not on it. I'm liable. If anything happens. She crossed her arms tighter. Then come get it. I'm not delivering it to you. I will, I said, unfazed. And I'll bring a backup plan if the keys aren't ready. She rolled her eyes, muttered something, and stormed off. I closed the door and checked the car's app. It was parked 3 blocks away. All I had to do was wait. I waited until evening fell. The street was quiet. I grabbed a jacket, phone in hand, and walked to the crossover. It was right where the app showed, a yoga mat tossed in the back. Emma wasn't there, but her sister Lisa's place was close by. I stood on the sidewalk, opened the app, and locked the doors. Then I set off the alarm. The horn blared, lights flashing. Emma rushed out of Lisa's building within seconds, yelling, "What are you doing?" I kept my voice steady, holding up my phone to silence the alarm. Really, Daniel? She hissed. You couldn't wait one day? I texted you 2 days ago, I said. You're acting crazy. No, I replied. I'm taking back what's mine before someone else drives off with it. It's just a car. She snapped. To you, maybe, I said. To the bank and insurance, it's mine. And as long as my name's on it, you don't get to drive it. Her jaw clenched. You're punishing me. This is your ego talking. If I were punishing you, I said, I wouldn't have texted. First, I wouldn't have stopped the alarm. I'd have reported it stolen already. She froze, stunned. I held out my hand. Keys. She hesitated, weighing her options, then slapped the key fob into my hand. I hope Ryan's worth it, I said, stepping back. You don't know anything. She shot back. I didn't reply. Back at the apartment, I locked the door and made a new list. First, replace the locks. Second, install a security camera. Something told me this wasn't finished. By Sunday, the locks were changed. When the new deadbolt snapped into place, I felt a shift, not resolution, but a boundary. A line between what was and what would be. That evening, I set up a small camera above the door, no wires, no light, just quiet watchfulness. Monday morning, during a video call, I got an email from IT. Follow up on external complaint. I worked remotely most days but went to the office weekly for meetings. Now, HR had received an anonymous email over the weekend, claiming I was emotionally unstable, aggressive, and had threatened my ex-partner. The language was careful, calculated, just vague enough to spark an inquiry. My pulse stayed even. I knew who sent it. I was called into a meeting with HR's Susan and my boss, Michael. Susan opened her laptop. We have to look into this, even if it's unverified, she said. I read the email. It painted me as erratic, threatening, citing an incident with a vehicle and a pattern of control. I leaned back and explained clearly. This was retaliation. My ex ended things a week ago. I responded by removing her from shared accounts and reclaiming my car, all rational, not emotional. Susan asked for proof. I showed my phone, the text exchange with Emma, the timestamp car request, app logs, and subscription changes. Michael, quiet until then, leaned forward. This doesn't sound like the Daniel I've known for 5 years, he said. Susan nodded, professional. She thanked me, said they'd note it, but with my evidence and track record, it wouldn't go further. The matter was closed. I left the office steady. That night, at 12:47 a.m., my security app pinged a motion alert. I opened the feed and saw Emma at my door, key in hand, trying to get in. The footage was clear. Emma, in a jacket and boots, glanced around nervously. She pulled a key from her pocket and tried the lock. It didn't work. She tried again, then rattled the handle. After a moment, she stared at the door, then left quietly. I saved the clip in 3 places: device, cloud, backup. I didn't confront her or call. Instead, I sent the video to Lisa, her sister. Thought you should see this. I think she's staying with you. 2 hours later, Lisa texted back, What's this? I didn't know she did this. She said you locked her out without warning. I didn't respond. There was nothing more to say. The next morning, I got a call from a familiar number. Emma's father, John, a straightforward mechanic who valued plain talk. Daniel, can we meet tonight? I'll bring Mary. Sure, I said. I'll be here. I knew what was coming. Emma had told one story. Lisa had shared another. At 7:30 p.m., they arrived. Mary, Emma's mother, looked drained. John's face was firm, like he'd been grappling with questions for days. Mary spoke first. We just want to understand what's going on. Emma's telling us one thing, Lisa. Another. I opened my laptop, played the footage, and let it speak. The room fell silent. When it ended, Mary stared at the screen. John's jaw was set. She said you kicked her out without notice, he muttered after a pause. I nodded. She asked for space, to be friends. I gave her that. Mary's voice was soft. She told us it was a small fight, that she was just staying with Lisa to cool off. I showed them the texts, the car message, subscription cancellations, timestamps, and the HR complaint. John looked worn. She's our daughter, Mary said, voice trembling. But this isn't right. We taught her better. John stood. I'm calling her. Put it on speaker, I said. He didn't hesitate. Hi, Dad, Emma answered. Tammy, we're at Daniel's. He's shown us everything, the video, texts, HR complaint. Why were you at his door at midnight with a key? Silence. Then, Dad, it's not what you think. I was just checking on him. I didn't go in. You had no reason to be there, John said, firm but calm. And you lied about it all. Her voice cracked. He's making me look bad. He took the car, locked me out. We're done, Emma, John said, and hung up. He looked at me, nodded. We're sorry for this. Emma didn't come back in person. She sent movers instead. I let them in, pointed to her boxes in the closet, the dresser, and a few wall hangings. No drama, no hassle. 30 minutes later, they were gone. I blocked Emma, deleted the footage, but kept the HR email saved, not out of spite, but as a reminder that trusting your gut isn't suspicion. It's foresight. The apartment is calm now, not empty, just peaceful. It feels like mine. I sit where Emma asked for space and realize she got it completely, just not as she'd planned. People think strength is about clinging tight. It's not. It's about letting go fully, cleanly, without glancing back. Emma wanted freedom. I gave her the raw version, and I kept mine.